You were saying earlier in your talk that they're changing the organic standards so that now more and more of these preservatives, pesticides are slipping in. How can people keep up to date with these organic standards?
Well, you can download a copy of the organic standard directly from the internet rather easily. As you'll see, it is another guideline. So the way in which it's actually enforced is through the International Federation of Organic Movements, IFOAM, that then feeds it back into its constituent bodies that includes the Soil Association. And you will be aware that the Soil Association itself has exhibited a number of concerns about the dumbing down of organic standards and the increasing development of those standards so that they suit big agribusiness entities and don't subscribe to the same principles of organic agriculture on which the Soil Association was initially based.
Just going to vitamins, I mean, they seem to have gradually decreased in quality in the last 5 years. And we see things like aspartame being put in with vitamin C tablets. Is that for you some kind of, gradualism conspiracy that now they've got this excuse to say that they're bad for us because they've been putting all these chemicals in? I mean, is that how you've seen them working?
I see it a little bit differently from that. I see that there is a diverse industry that brings concentrated sources of nutrients in dose forms, which is the definition of a food supplement, to the market. And at one side of that industry, you have very simple products that are based on pharmaceutical forms of largely synthetic vitamins. And on the other side of the market, you have nature-identical, bio-identical, or fully natural source nutrients that much better represent the sources of nutrients and the complex sources of nutrients that our bodies require, particularly while we're being exposed to such a limited food source, which is the way for most people living in Western societies in this day and age. So, in short, the simple synthetic forms have very little effect on the body. They do prevent deficiency diseases by supplying sufficient vitamin D to stop rickets, to provide sufficient C to stop scurvy, but they do not by any means provide anything like enough of the right dosage or form of nutrient to stop complex chronic diseases that are increasingly related to forms of micronutrient deficiency and macronutrient imbalance.
Do you advocate supplementing your diet with?
Yeah, funnily enough, while I was for 10 years at Imperial College, for most of that time I was a great fan of the fact that you could get sufficient food from your diet if you chose carefully, and I believe you still can if you work very, very hard at it. And that would mean having a very high quality juicer. It would mean consuming only locally produced organic or biodynamic food. It would be ensuring that you have steady access to those sorts of foods, that you don't leave them decay in the bottom of your refrigerator for a week or two, so that they've lost most of their nutrients. And of course, the vast majority of us do not have the time or even the resources to be able to live in that manner. So for the vast majority of people, to eat the healthiest possible diet and supplement it with specific forms of nutrients that are known to be deficient in the diet is probably the best thing you can do, in conjunction with all the other lifestyle parameters that we know we should be engaged in to live long, healthy, disease-free lives. And that means moderate exercise. It means drinking sufficient 2 litres of clean water a day, but not more than about half a litre in a single go, little and often. It means getting sufficient rest and sleep. It means self-actualizing, doing the things in life that you need to do. It means reducing stress in your life, not getting yourself deeply into debt, or if you do, finding ways of getting out of it and managing the stress.